The other day I decided I wanted to paint on a large canvas, and we didn't get anything super large. I actually wanted to paint something stupid big, like 4 feet, 5 feet or something. But this is a compromise. It's a 24 by 30 canvas, and I just wanted to paint something large. That was the main goal. Just wanted to paint something big and loose, because I've been painting a lot of small stuff lately, and I wanted to try something larger because it's been a while. It's the same canvas that I used to paint my wife's Squishmallow family. So I'm used to this canvas. It's a pretty good canvas. It's from Hobby Lobby. It's got the canvas wrapped around and tucked in between the stretcher rather than just stapled to it, which is a nice feature. It looks cleaner, and it goes on this easel much easier. And I built this easel, and it screws into the back of the stretcher, and that's the reason I'm saying that. So what's the painting about? Yeah, it is, well, I guess about's kind of the wrong word. It is a painting of a canal right next to our house. Since we live in Palm Coast, we have lots of canals by us, and we go past this all the time. It's right near our house. I can walk to it in a few minutes, and we pass all the time. And I thought, I'm gonna snap some pictures, and it's cool because it leads out. There's signs that say it leads out to the ocean and stuff. So it's kind of like, it feels like you're really close to the ocean in that sense. I mean, it's not far, but it also kind of feels like it goes off forever. And it's really cool. They're all over Palm Coast. Like, if you drive around the neighborhoods and look, there's canals everywhere. They're really small. I mean, this one's pretty big. Like, you could canoe through it, but most of them are not that big. So this one was, people like to fish off of it and that kind of thing. That's kind of a little focal point I wanted to paint. So I decided to, like I said, get a big canvas and snap a picture, snapped a couple, decided which one I wanted to do. Because, there's two sides. There's a little bridge there that people fish off of. So I decided to paint with my palette knife again. I tried doing that. I saw somebody else doing it, and I was like, I've seen a lot of people do it, and I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna try it. Funny enough, we actually got a bunch of extra paintbrushes, and I was like, well, my wife said, why don't you just use that one too? So I started out with a palette knife, just getting the basic ideas down, getting the forms down, and just trying to get color on canvas. I try to do that as quickly as I can and try to shape everything out so that I don't feel so lost. I don't get caught up in details right away. And also, painting with something like a palette knife or a large brush makes it very difficult to get details, and that's where you get more loose and more painterly and more impressionistic, which is what I like to do when I paint. I don't know, that's just how I like it. I think it looks cool to me. It's fun to do. So yeah, I started with the palette brush. I started with a palette knife the first day. I already had, let that dry, and I'm also mixing, by the way, I'm using a medium gel and a slow dry medium gel and a heavy gloss, because I still have it. So I figured I might as well use it for something this big. And I still didn't go through most of it. There's a lot of it still in there. And so it does give it more of texture, and it did hold up really well. So the slow dry kind of relaxed it, and then the gloss kind of made it pop a little harder. And the size of this painting is if I hadn't mentioned this, right, it's a 24 by 30. I wanted to paint on something stupidly large, like a 5 foot by 4 foot. But we ended up just compromising and thinking, like, where are we even going to put that? I mean, there is room in the hallway. Our main hallway, when you first come in the house, there's really nothing on the walls, so I could have very easily have done that, but we just decided, you know what, that's kind of dumb. Let's just, where are you going to put that? I mean, yeah, I could have put it on the wall, but also thinking about, like, maybe if somebody wants it and having to ship it or having to take it somewhere locally, I'm like, yeah, it's a bit much. Anyway, I'm also in my wife's office in this video because a couple of reasons. My bedroom, or our bedroom, is also my office space, and I have a set of drums in here. They're electronic drums. I have my guitars all over the walls and all that good stuff, and all my art supplies are in here. But our bed is also in here, which makes good natural sound insulation. However, it doesn't help for when I go to paint something this big. So we decided it would be best if I went into her office and did it instead. So, plus I got to hang out with her for a while, and I knew I'd be painting it for quite some time. And I just try to trust the process, kind of a thing, when I'm painting, because sometimes I'm like, I don't know where this is going to go, or if I'm even getting anywhere near I want to be. But I just keep pushing and pulling. Like I always say, just try different things. And then by the time I'm done, I'm usually pretty happy with what I have. I'm not trying to go for absolute realism. You know, with Impressionism, you're just going for kind of as close as you can get it. It's the way that it was described a few times by other people that I wish I remind myself is glance. You want your painting to look as if someone just glanced at this picture of, let's say they took a mental image of whatever your reference is. They're not gonna remember every detail of everything. They're gonna be like, yeah, there's like a tree over here, I think, and everything. So you get it close, you know, keep it compositionally the same, but you start pulling down, like the colors don't have to be absolutely perfect, as long as you have, like, what I go for anyway is like a mid-tone, you know, your mid colors, if you will, and like basic in the middle colors, and then highlights and shadows. If you can do those two things, it's usually enough to make it feel like it has depth. And then it has like some compositional interesting things to it because, you know, the perspective leads your eye straight down the middle. It has sort of an X shape to it and somewhat of because of the focal point of the way that the canal runs, but also a little tiny bit of an S shape because of how it kind of disappears into the back. That implies there's an S shape to it. And yeah, it's kind of cool. I think it's also nice to have painted it in a portrait. It's really tall, very interesting. I don't usually paint anything this big, not with an impressionistic style anyway. And Impressionism I've always loved, even when I was a kid. And I just thought, if I'm going to paint, there's two ways I could do it. I can either approach it realistically and it'll come out painterly anyway, or I can spend more time trying to get the color down as quickly as possible. It's almost like I'm rushing, because I know if I go slow, it's going to be too deliberate and it's not going to look loose and fun for me. It's going to be a little bit too dragging, and I want to hurry up and get it done. And not to rush necessarily, like I'm not trying to hurry up and get it done just for the sake of doing it, but to keep myself on pace so that I feel like I'm painting in on site. Because, you know, if you're painting on site and you only have a little bit of time to paint, you have to hurry up and catch colors as quickly as possible, or you won't have, you know, your reference will be gone because the sun will have gone down or something. So that's what I try to keep in mind. Anyway, it was fun to do something large. I haven't done anything like that in a long time, and I don't think I've ever painted an impressionistic like piece that large before in my life. So that was an experiment. Just something I wanted to check off the list, itch I wanted to scratch, and that's it. And hopefully you enjoyed that. Thanks for hanging out if you did, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.